1. Anakin vs. Count Dooku, Attack of the Clones. This duel marks Anakin Skywalker's first major test against a Sith Lord, showcasing both his raw potential and impulsive nature. Set aboard the Geonosian arena, the fight begins after Dooku captures Obi-Wan and the Jedi arrive to rescue him. Dooku's mastery of Form 2, Makashi, contrasts sharply with Anakin's aggressive, unpolished strikes. Early in the battle, Anakin demonstrates impressive speed and strength, even managing to disarm Dooku briefly. Yet, Dooku's experience and cunning keep him one step ahead, exploiting Anakin's overconfidence. The duel isn't just a physical confrontation, it's symbolic of Anakin's inner struggle, foreshadowing his eventual fall to the dark side. When Obi-Wan intervenes, Dooku escapes temporarily, leaving Anakin frustrated and hungry for vengeance. This duel stands out not only for its lightsaber choreography, but also for its narrative importance. It's a turning point that begins Anakin's transformation, illustrating his ambition, impatience, and the seductive danger of power. The fight also introduces audiences to Dooku's elegant, precise combat style, contrasting with Anakin's explosive energy, setting the stage for future confrontations. Though overshadowed by later duels, this moment is a critical early chapter in Anakin's tragic journey. 2. Darth Maul vs. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, The Phantom Menace. The duel on Naboo is legendary for its innovative choreography, double-bladed lightsaber, and cinematic tension. Darth Maul, a fearsome Sith apprentice, demonstrates unmatched agility and ferocity against two Jedi masters. The fight begins in the Naboo Power Generator Complex, a confined industrial setting that adds intensity to each strike. Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi coordinate their attacks, combining defensive precision with offensive teamwork, while Maul spins, leaps, and slices with terrifying speed. The choreography is fast, acrobatic, and almost balletic, emphasizing the physicality of lightsaber combat. The stakes are high. Failure could doom the Republic and Jedi Order. Maul's relentless assault ultimately separates the two Jedi, leading to Qui-Gon's fatal injury. Obi-Wan, driven by desperation and determination, manages to defeat Maul with a final decisive strike. This duel is more than spectacle, it's a pivotal emotional moment. Qui-Gon's death sets Obi-Wan on the path to train Anakin, while Maul's survival plants the seeds of future revenge. Duel of the Fates, combined with John Williams' iconic score, transforms this fight into a timeless, adrenaline-fueled classic blending story, emotion, and technical brilliance. 3. Obi-Wan vs. Darth Vader, A New Hope. The duel aboard the Death Star is short, simple, yet emotionally resonant, establishing the enduring rivalry between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. Their history spans decades, from master-apprentice to enemies, making each strike carry personal weight. The fight is more measured than flashy, emphasizing strategy, patience, and psychological tension over acrobatics. Obi-Wan deliberately allows himself to be struck down, sacrificing his life so Luke and his friends can escape. This choice highlights his wisdom and deep understanding of the Force, showing that true victory doesn't always come from defeating an opponent physically. Vader's rage is palpable, but Obi-Wan's calm, almost serene approach contrasts sharply, emphasizing the philosophical divide between Jedi and Sith. Though brief, this duel is iconic because of its stakes and context. It marks the first death in the original trilogy, symbolizes the passing of the torch to a new generation, and solidifies Vader as a menacing, formidable villain. The tension, combined with Alec Guinness and David Prowse's performances, ensures the duel resonates far beyond its screen time, proving that emotional depth can outweigh flashy choreography. 4. Luke vs. Darth Vader, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke Skywalker's duel with Darth Vader in Cloud City is a turning point in both narrative and emotional stakes. Under the tutelage of Obi-Wan's teachings and Yoda's guidance, Luke faces Vader, eager to prove himself, but inexperienced and impulsive. Vader expertly manipulates Luke's overconfidence, controlling the pace and exploiting the young Jedi's lack of training. The duel moves through the industrial corridors of Cloud City, with tension building as each strike becomes increasingly desperate. Luke demonstrates flashes of skill, yet Vader's mastery, strength, and dark-side intuition dominate the battle. The duel's climax, the revelation that Vader is Luke's father, is shocking, redefining everything Luke thought he knew about his destiny. Emotion and fear overtake him, leading to his dramatic fall into the reactor shaft. Beyond lightsaber choreography, this duel is a psychological battle illustrating the seduction and threat of the dark side. It also cements Vader as a tragic, complex villain and Luke as a hero still finding his path. The combination of intense action, emotional stakes, and the unforgettable "I am your father" moment ensures this duel remains one of Star Wars' most enduring and impactful confrontations. 5. Luke vs. Darth Vader, Return of the Jedi. The final duel between Luke and Vader aboard the second Death Star is both physical and emotional, combining explosive action with deep character development. Luke, now a more confident and skilled Jedi, confronts Vader to save his friends, testing his mastery of the Force and his ability to resist anger. The battle is dynamic, with lightsabers clashing amid collapsing machinery and the Emperor's manipulative presence looming over them. Luke fights aggressively at times, teetering on the edge of the dark side, while Vader struggles with loyalty to his son versus submission to the Emperor. Unlike previous duels, this confrontation resolves with Vader's redemption. He ultimately kills the Emperor to save Luke, fulfilling the prophecy of the Chosen One. The duel symbolizes the power of compassion, forgiveness, and self-sacrifice. The choreography is powerful, but the real drama lies in the stakes and relationships. Luke's restraint and Vader's inner conflict elevate this duel beyond spectacle, transforming it into a saga-defining moment. It's not just a fight, it's the culmination of a lifetime of struggle, choices, and the enduring battle between light and dark. 6. Anakin vs. Obi-Wan, Revenge of the Sith. The duel on Mustafar is widely regarded as the most emotionally intense lightsaber battle in Star Wars history. Anakin, now Darth Vader, has fully embraced the dark side, and Obi-Wan confronts his former friend and apprentice on a volcanic planet that mirrors their burning friendship and moral conflict. The duel begins with careful strikes, gradually escalating into relentless high-flying acrobatics, fueled by lava, unstable terrain, and the character's rage. Anakin's aggression clashes with Obi-Wan's precision and defensive mastery, highlighting the tragedy of Anakin's fall from hero to villain. Each swing of the lightsaber is laden with personal betrayal, with Obi-Wan desperately trying to reason with Anakin, who is consumed by anger and hubris. The environment itself becomes a weapon, forcing both combatants to navigate treacherous terrain while maintaining deadly focus. The battle reaches its climax when Obi-Wan gains higher ground and delivers a decisive strike, severing Anakin's limbs and leaving him on the brink of death. This duel is visually spectacular, emotionally devastating, and narratively pivotal. It seals Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader, ending the Republic era and paving the way for the Empire's rise. Its combination of emotion, choreography, and cinematic visuals makes it an unforgettable, tragic masterpiece. 7. Yoda vs. Count Dooku, Attack of the Clones. Yoda's duel with Count Dooku is revolutionary because it reveals the full extent of Yoda's combat abilities, previously unseen in the prequels. Normally calm and wise, Yoda wields his small lightsaber with incredible agility, demonstrating flips, spins, and force-enhanced acrobatics that defy his small stature. Dooku, a seasoned Sith with refined technique, counters with elegant, precise strikes, creating a clash of experience and raw power. The duel takes place in the Senate chamber, symbolically underscoring the political and moral stakes of their battle. Beyond flashy moves, the fight illustrates Yoda's philosophy. Even the smallest figure can wield immense power when guided by wisdom and skill. The duel also emphasizes the danger of the dark side, as Dooku's attacks are relentless and lethal. Though ultimately unresolved, the confrontation heightens the tension of the Clone Wars, showcasing the Jedi's vulnerability and the growing threat of the Sith. Yoda's combat style became instantly iconic, blending agility, strategy, and the mystical elements of the Force. The fight is both visually breathtaking and narratively significant, proving that even a seemingly gentle mentor can become a devastating warrior when justice and survival are at stake. 8. Mace Windu vs. Palpatine, Revenge of the Sith. This duel is a high-stakes confrontation that demonstrates the lethal combination of political and physical power. Mace Windu, one of the Jedi Council's most skilled and disciplined members, confronts Chancellor Palpatine after discovering his Sith identity. Palpatine, embodying cunning, raw, dark side power, unleashes devastating attacks using lightning, agility, and deceptive speed to overwhelm Windu. The fight is not just about lightsaber combat, it's a battle of wills, ideologies, and survival. Windu's precision and defensive mastery counter Palpatine's chaotic, destructive style, creating a tense and cinematic confrontation in the Chancellor's office. The duel escalates to a violent standoff, ultimately ending with Anakin's fateful intervention, leading to Windu's death and Palpatine's unchecked rise to Emperor. This confrontation is critical, marking the end of the Jedi Order's dominance and demonstrating the tragic vulnerability of even the most powerful Jedi. The choreography, combined with the tension of political treachery and moral dilemmas, makes it one of the prequel's most intense and memorable lightsaber duels. Its importance is amplified by its narrative consequences, shaping the entire galaxy's destiny. 9. Kylo Ren vs. Rey, The Force Awakens. The duel between Kylo Ren and Rey introduces a new generation of Force users, with Rey discovering her potential in the heat of combat. Set in the Starkiller base corridor, the fight is chaotic, raw, and emotionally charged. Kylo Ren, aggressive and erratic, struggles with his own inner conflict and the pull of the light side, while Rey, inexperienced yet instinctively powerful, counters with rapid, determined strikes. The duel emphasizes the unpredictability of raw talent versus trained aggression. Rey's quick adaptation to combat and growing Force sensitivity make her a formidable opponent, while Kylo's dark emotions drive his destructive attacks. The confined mechanical environment adds urgency and danger, as both combatants navigate obstacles and vulnerable surroundings. The fight culminates in Rey's first major victory, marking a turning point in her hero's journey. This duel is memorable not only for its choreography, but also for character development, illustrating the inner struggles of both Rey and Kylo Ren. It's a modern Star Wars fight that blends physical intensity with psychological depth, setting the stage for their ongoing conflict in the sequel trilogy. 10. Rey vs. Kylo Ren, The Last Jedi. This duel elevates the Rey-Kylo dynamic, combining raw power, emotion, and dramatic visuals. Set against a snowy cliffside backdrop, their clash is both intimate and expansive, with lightsabers colliding in rhythm with the tension of their personal connection. Rey demonstrates significant growth in skill and confidence, while Kylo struggles with conflicting loyalties, torn between dark ambitions and lingering feelings for Rey. Unlike purely physical confrontations, this fight explores mental and emotional stakes, blending Force-assisted maneuvers with intense lightsaber combat. Their strikes and counters are matched by Force pushes, leaps, and coordinated spins, making the choreography fluid, cinematic, and high stakes. The duel serves as both a battle of skill and a psychological struggle, symbolizing the blurred line between light and dark, personal desire and destiny. The snowy landscape adds dramatic contrast, making every movement visually striking. By the duel's end, both are pushed to their limits, yet the fight leaves them emotionally exposed and narratively intertwined. It's a duel that balances spectacle, storytelling, and character development, creating one of the sequel trilogy's most memorable moments. 11. Darth Maul vs. Obi-Wan, Solo, A Star Wars Story. In Solo, A Star Wars Story, Darth Maul returns, bringing menace and agility unmatched by most. The duel with Obi-Wan occurs on the planet Malachor, a dark and visually striking setting filled with jagged structures and eerie shadows. Maul's dual-blade fighting style, combined with acrobatics and ferocity, contrasts with Obi-Wan's disciplined, precise strikes. The fight is a tense mix of offense and defense, with Obi-Wan attempting to outmaneuver Maul's unpredictable attacks. The duel is steeped in history as Maul seeks revenge against the Jedi who defeated him years earlier, and Obi-Wan must contend with both his skill and the threat Maul represents. The choreography emphasizes speed, agility, and brutal efficiency, while the surrounding environment amplifies the danger, forcing both combatants to adapt to unstable ground and tight spaces. Narratively, the duel is emotionally charged. It revisits unresolved conflicts and personal vendettas from the prequel trilogy. Though brief, it showcases Maul's relentless determination and Obi-Wan's tactical genius, proving that past rivalries never truly die. The duel's dark, moody atmosphere and high-stakes combat make it a visually memorable and story-significant confrontation. 12. Obi-Wan vs. General Grievous, Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan's duel with General Grievous is one of the most mechanically intricate and fast-paced battles in the saga. Grievous, with his 4 mechanical arms, wields multiple lightsabers simultaneously, creating a chaotic and overwhelming threat. Obi-Wan must rely on agility, precision, and tactical thinking to survive, using the environment to his advantage and exploiting Grievous's mechanical limitations. The battle moves through the corridors of Coruscant, combining verticality, narrow spaces, and intense acrobatics, showcasing both Jedi skill and the dangers of advanced technology in combat. Grievous' raw strength and unpredictability test Obi-Wan's patience and ingenuity, forcing him to carefully time strikes and parries. This duel also serves a larger narrative purpose. It underscores the escalating danger of the Separatist leadership and sets the stage for Anakin's ultimate confrontation with the Sith. The choreography blends cinematic spectacle with logical strategy, demonstrating that lightsaber duels are not only physical contests, but mental games of anticipation, timing, and resourcefulness. Obi-Wan's victory highlights his mastery and tactical genius, reaffirming why he is one of the Republic's most formidable defenders. 13. Anakin vs. Count Dooku, Revenge of the Sith. This duel represents a darker, more mature confrontation than their previous encounter. Anakin, now more skilled, aggressive, and impulsive, faces Count Dooku in the climax of Revenge of the Sith. Unlike their earlier duel, Anakin fully embraces his fury, striking with precision and raw power, pushing Dooku to his limits. The battle unfolds in the Chancellor's office aboard the Invisible Hand, providing a confined, high-stakes environment. Dooku's refined, elegant strikes contrast with Anakin's ferocity, creating a tension-filled clash between experience and raw potential. The duel escalates into a morally significant moment. With Dooku disarmed and defeated, Anakin chooses to execute him, a pivotal act signaling his moral descent and foreshadowing his eventual transformation into Darth Vader. The choreography highlights the emotional weight of the moment, blending speed, agility, and explosive energy with narrative significance. This duel is memorable not only for its action, but also for the ethical implications of Anakin's choice. It sets the tone for the dark events that follow, marking a turning point in his tragic journey and the Republic's collapse. 14. Ahsoka Tano vs. Darth Vader, Star Wars Rebels. Ahsoka Tano's duel with Darth Vader in Star Wars Rebels is emotionally charged and visually striking. Once Anakin Skywalker's apprentice, Ahsoka now confronts the man he has become, her former mentor turned Sith Lord. Set in the temple on Malachor, the duel is a mixture of light and shadow, highlighting both characters' mastery of the Force. Ahsoka demonstrates refined skill, agility, and quick thinking, while Vader uses overwhelming power, heavy strikes, and intimidation. The choreography balances offense and defense, emphasizing strategic maneuvers, acrobatics, and the psychological tension between former allies. Every attack carries emotional weight. Ahsoka struggles with confronting someone she once trusted, while Vader wrestles with remnants of his former self. The duel ultimately ends ambiguously, leaving Ahsoka's fate uncertain, enhancing the emotional resonance. This confrontation is celebrated for its deep narrative significance, blending action, emotion, and history. It's a duel that showcases personal growth, tragic loss, and the complexity of loyalty and vengeance, while delivering visually engaging lightsaber combat that highlights both characters' evolution. 15. Kylo Ren vs. Luke, The Last Jedi. The confrontation between Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi is unconventional but intensely impactful. Luke projects his presence via the Force, engaging Kylo in a duel that is as much psychological as it is physical. The duel takes place across the stark salt plains of Crate, with red soil contrasting against snow-like mineral deposits, creating a visually striking battlefield. Kylo attacks aggressively, driven by anger and ambition, while Luke deflects strikes with calm, strategic movements. Though Luke is physically distant, his Force projection creates the illusion of a direct duel, misleading Kylo and buying time for the Resistance to escape. The battle emphasizes cunning, deception, and mastery of the Force, rather than pure skill, redefining what a lightsaber duel can represent. The stakes are high. The duel is not about defeating Kylo, but protecting others and inspiring hope. The narrative weight combined with visual spectacle and thematic significance makes this duel a standout. It's a poetic confrontation, proving that even without direct contact, the power of presence, strategy, and sacrifice can turn the tide of a battle. 16. Finn and Rey vs. Kylo Ren, The Force Awakens. This duel is Rey's first real test as a Jedi, set in the snowy Starkiller base corridor. Finn, a former stormtrooper with no formal training, joins Rey against the formidable Kylo Ren, whose dark powers and aggressive fighting style dominate early. The fight emphasizes Rey's raw talent, intuition, and rapidly growing force sensitivity, contrasted with Kylo's emotional volatility and destructive strikes. Finn provides support, drawing Kylo's attention, which allows Rey to adapt and learn during the battle. The choreography combines hand-to-hand strikes, lightsaber clashes, and force-assisted maneuvers, creating a fast-paced, high-stakes confrontation. This duel is significant because it's a turning point for Rey, marking her awakening as a Jedi and introducing her to the emotional intensity of combat. It also establishes Kylo Ren as a menacing and conflicted antagonist, struggling with control and impulsive anger. The fight balances action with character development, showing growth, fear, and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. While Rey initially struggles, her eventual empowerment and mastery of instinctual combat foreshadow her central role in the sequel trilogy. This duel blends spectacle, narrative stakes, and emotional resonance, making it a memorable modern Star Wars fight. 17. Duel on Malachor, Rebels. The duel between Ezra Bridger and Darth Vader on Malachor is visually stunning and symbolically charged. Set in the ruins of an ancient Sith temple, the battlefield is littered with jagged structures, glowing Sith artifacts, and shadows that enhance the dark, foreboding atmosphere. Ezra, still a young Jedi, faces the ultimate test against Vader, a seasoned Sith Lord embodying raw power and experience. The fight is high energy, with lightsaber strikes, acrobatics, and force-assisted maneuvers showcasing Ezra's developing skills and Vader's mastery. Beyond physical combat, the duel carries narrative weight. It represents the struggle of light versus dark, youth against experience, and hope against oppression. Ezra's courage and quick thinking allow him to survive, while Vader demonstrates overwhelming power tempered with precision. The duel also serves as a turning point in Ezra's growth, cementing his understanding of the consequences of facing the dark side. Its combination of breathtaking visuals, tight choreography, and thematic significance makes it one of the most memorable duels in animated Star Wars media, highlighting the saga's ability to blend action with deep emotional and narrative stakes. 18. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan vs. Darth Maul, the Phantom Menace. Known as the Duel of the Fates, this fight is one of the most iconic duels in Star Wars history. Set in the industrial depths of the Naboo power generator, it features Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul in a fast-paced, acrobatic three-way clash. Maul's double-bladed lightsaber and relentless ferocity challenge the Jedi's coordination and precision. The choreography is fluid and dynamic, emphasizing flips, spins, and rapid strikes, while the dramatic John Williams score heightens tension. The duel reaches its emotional climax when Maul fatally strikes Qui-Gon, leaving Obi-Wan to avenge his master. Obi-Wan's final strike, slicing Maul in half, is both visually shocking and narratively satisfying. Beyond the action, the duel represents a clash of light and dark mentorship and the consequences of underestimating one's opponent. The fight's cinematic style, music, and stakes make it a lasting symbol of Star Wars' epic battles. Its combination of emotion, story significance, and groundbreaking choreography cements it as one of the most influential and memorable lightsaber duels in cinematic history. 19. Duel of the Fates, the Phantom Menace. While technically the same as the previous, Duel of the Fates deserves its own recognition for its unmatched combination of music, pacing, and cinematic impact. The fight exemplifies the artistry of Star Wars duels, blending high-speed acrobatics, strategic combat, and emotional stakes. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan face Darth Maul in a deadly sequence that tests skill, teamwork, and resilience. Each move is punctuated by the iconic orchestral score, reinforcing tension, urgency, and drama. The choreography highlights Maul's vicious precision against the Jedi's calculated defense, emphasizing their contrasting philosophies and skill levels. The environment adds danger and visual spectacle, from narrow catwalks to industrial machinery. Beyond technical brilliance, the duel's narrative significance is immense. Qui-Gon's death propels Obi-Wan into the role of mentor to Anakin, setting the stage for future tragedy and redemption. Its lasting influence extends beyond the film, inspiring countless homages, animated adaptations, and fan recreations. This duel proves that lightsaber battles are not merely combat. They are storytelling, emotion, and art combined, leaving an enduring legacy in the Star Wars saga. 20. Rey vs. Palpatine, Rise of Skywalker. The climactic duel between Rey and Emperor Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker is the ultimate confrontation of the saga. Set atop a crumbling Sith throne on Exegol, the duel combines explosive lightsaber combat, force powers, and galaxy-shaking stakes. Palpatine wields immense dark side energy, striking with lightning raw force and centuries of cunning, while Rey counters with determination, skill, and the combined power of the Jedi legacy. The fight tests Rey physically, mentally, and spiritually, forcing her to draw upon her training, inner strength, and the connection to past Jedi. The duel is both spectacle and narrative resolution. It represents the triumph of hope, courage, and selflessness over tyranny, anger, and corruption. Rey's victory is not merely through combat skill, but through unity with the Force and the support of the Jedi legacy, emphasizing the saga's core themes. The visuals, crumbling structures, red skies, and lightning strikes, combined with dramatic choreography and emotional resonance, create a fitting climax for the Skywalker saga. This duel serves as both a spectacle and a symbolic victory, encapsulating the fight between light and dark across generations of Star Wars storytelling.